Hello, and welcome back to the hit series of Active Aggression Unit of the Week. And today we're going to be covering our 8th unit in this series, which is the Cartel's Scorpio light tank. Scorpio, despite its futuristic appearance, is actually based off a real tank design, like a lot of vehicles in Active Aggression. You see, in 1980, the US military had a specification for a new type of vehicle, a Rapid Deployment Force light tank. Basically, a lightly armoured tank which could be transported in helicopter to assist with airborne operations. The AAI Corporation would try to meet this specification with their light tank design, which is basically the Scorpio in-game. It looks pretty much identical. It could go 40 miles an hour on the road, weighed under 15 tons, and the original prototype was armed with a 76mm cannon. However, there'd be a second prototype armed with a 75mm cannon. A burst-fire 75mm cannon. It shot a 5-round burst. The whole idea is that, yes, it's a lower velocity gun compared to standard tank armament of the time, but if it was to hit the same Soviet tank in the same area roughly 5 times, it should be enough to go on through. And also with the burst fire capabilities, it could also give it the potential of shooting down low-flying helicopters. Unfortunately for AAI, the RDF would never reach actual production for a variety of reasons, and the role of a air transportable vehicle would end up being filled by, well, for the Marines, LAV, as well as the Humvee. In-game, the Scorpio is a $1,200 light tank available to the Cartel faction. It has one main weapon, that being the 75mm railgun, with 7 armor penetration value and 2 high explosive value, and it does have a rather long range. It also is equipped with smoke launchers, which allows it to disengage from unadvantageous engagements, and just one upgrade available to it, which are the optical camouflage bricks for $6,000, so it also applies to other units, which gives the Scorpio light tank stealth capabilities. In battle, the Scorpio is basically a tank destroyer. It's a glass cannon. Its cannon is a railgun, which makes it a bit cooler than your standard cannon. You don't want to get hit, because you barely have any hit points, only 7 hit points available to it, so just don't get hit. But you do have long range with the 75mm railgun, so you can try and stay out of range playing microing correctly, and of course you do have the smoke launchers, which allows you to disengage from rather precarious engagements. The smoke launchers aren't super duper useful because its movement is pretty fast in Active Aggression. It's quite easy for the enemy to chase you down, but it does give you a few seconds at least of not being shot at, so maybe you do have the ability to fall back. Preferably, you want to have supporting units. Scorpio isn't a vehicle which you can really use by itself because it will die. In the early game, the automatic is a more tankier tank in this light tank, which may seem a little bit counterproductive compared to the War Games automatic, but it is survivable. It has much more HP, and it is also a nice 1-2 combo because the automatic can deal with infantry and aircraft, while Scorpio blows up all the nasty tanks on the ground, so it's a very good combination force. In the later stages of the match, however, you're probably going to be tacking up and mainly using the Spectra tank, as it's much more survivable and has a better general purpose use and built-in stealth upgrades as well. But Scorpio is not useless still, because it still has better AP value compared to the Spectra, and also being quite a bit cheaper, so it's still a useful, backline support sniping unit. And once you do get the stealth upgrade, which you really should be getting anyway, because being able to hide your other units, especially your resource helicopters, helps out quite a bit. Also makes the Scorpio even more deadly because you got that 2x damage multiplier when attacking a unit out of ambush, and also increases the survivability of the Scorpios quite a bit. Overall, the Scorpio is a high-risk, high-reward vehicle. You can't afford to get into precarious engagements because you will die very quickly with the Scorpios, but with the correct supporting units and the correct micro using those smoke launchers, the Scorpio will pay itself off quite a bit because it is bloody deadly when it blows up enemy tanks. And well, I'm going to leave it off at that. This has been another Rang Rouge Unit of the Week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.